Yo, how's it going, guys? Today we finally get to talk a little bit more about Black Ops 6, and now while everyone else is kind of releasing these videos talking about the same stuff, I kind of wanted to make this video to show like how I'm taking in all this information and what we can really kind of expect from a Call of Duty without all this hype clouding our judgment, especially in a time when we get all this brand new information and everyone's just super excited. So recently I watched a really interesting video from a creator known as the CODfather. I don't know if you've seen him or seen this video, but he talked about how COD has been rigged and essentially working like a casino for the past decade. So I'm going to link his video up top, but I'm going to gloss over it real quick, but you should definitely go check it out because he's going to go way more in depth than I will in this video. So if you haven't seen his video, he essentially compares the COD matchmaking system to a casino in that they have these AI systems now that, you know, kind of run the skill-based matchmaking, or the other term that not a lot of people know, which is the engagement optimized matchmaking, which is honestly more of a detriment to the series than skill-based matchmaking. He goes a lot more in depth on this stuff, as I was saying earlier, but you know, this AI that they build this matchmaking system learns a lot about your skill level, tendencies that you have when you're inside of the game. Once you load it up, it just basically, you know, learns everything about you and what you do while you're using the game. So essentially, when you launch the game, this AI system is like learning your tendencies and like what you do, what you play, how you play the game. It's gaining all this information to then use to get you to do things like play the game longer or spend more money. Obviously, spend more money is the biggest thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into all this skill-based matchmaking debate that everyone talks about, but it's essentially, you know, they're trying to make you think you're better than you are or worse than you are by putting you up against players that are, you know, depending on your situation. If you've been winning a lot, it'll change your lobby rate of playing with better players. And then within the lobbies, they don't really matchmake you with a variety of teammates. It's more so just like that cloned player that it thinks that you should be up against or playing with. And this isn't like anything new. Like, people have been discussing this for a long time, and it's just something that I feel like a lot of people just overlook nowadays, especially with new titles and when they drop with marketing and new information that we haven't got because we're so stale on the COD that we have right now, that everything just turns into hype rather than, you know, critiquing it for what it is. So recently XDefiant launched, and I've been having an absolute blast on the game. I love it. It's a ton of fun. It's done so good that it's kind of made us realize how bad Call of Duty's been for so long. You know, there's all these debates online now whether, you know, skill-based matchmaking should be a thing or not, and, you know, all the original COD players that loved all the old titles love it. All the new people that have only played CODs from like the past 5 years are hating it because they're just not used to playing against bad players. So it's like, or really good players. It's, you know, started this whole debate, which is, I think, great for the series because we're finally talking about it more. It's been kind of swept under the rug for a long time, and now it's finally getting to the surface. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's something that we should be expecting in this new Call of Duty game. And when we get all these new trailers with all these new, you know, movement systems or, you know, prestige modes back, but it's not going to change the fact that they're still rigging these lobbies to make it so that you're not having as much fun multiplayer wise. Now this is in regards to multiplayer, and I'm mostly a zombies fan, so I think there's, you know, we have barely gotten any information for zombies, but I think that zombies could potentially be really good, but also could potentially have these same faults as multiplayer, but in different areas. Let's take a break from all this negative stuff and kind of focus on some of the positive things we found from this conference. I think they're doing a lot of, you know, great things and changing a lot of great things, whether it be old stuff or new stuff. The biggest thing I think for this series right now is that it's going to Game Pass. For Xbox players and PC players, this is unreal because we can get access to this game and a bajillion other titles without having to spend $70 specifically on Call of Duty, which is awesome. And I think a lot of people already have the Game Pass, so that was just a great move on Microsoft's point. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that's going to be a success this year with this Call of Duty. On top of that, in terms of, you know, more inside the game thing, as I mentioned, you know, like the prestige mode's coming back, which is awesome. I love that progression system. I'm not a huge fan of the Modern Warfare where you have to wait a whole season to get more levels. I've loved the old prestige system, and in regards to zombies, I'd love to see like a Black Ops 3 system where they had prestige and multiplayer and zombies, but instead of two separate prestiges, it's like you can rank up in zombies to rank up in multiplayer as well, but you have that prestige system as well, if that makes any sense. And obviously this new Omni movement system that they've set for this game looks incredible. I love the idea of being able to try out different things other than just, you know, your classic tack sprint or, hey, slide canceling's back. Who cares? I'm not a fan of the Modern Warfare movement. I think it's clunky. I think Treyarch's always been better at moving. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. It could suck. It could be great. Who knows? Only time will tell. So I think they're upgrading a lot of different stuff rather than just following this Modern Warfare system where they just kind of copy paste and add a couple more things. Obviously, we're still on, like, it looks to be like the Cold War system. All these games are kind of made on the same engine, so it's going to look similar to Cold War, and it might probably feel similar to Cold War, but hopefully this movement changes it a bit. But, you know, I'm trying to stay grounded, and, you know, if it is pretty much the exact same thing as Cold War, that's something that we should be expecting, because that's what they've been doing for the past 7 years. They've just been copying and pasting. So in terms of zombie stuff, you know, we haven't heard much, but they've mostly just talked about the stuff that's returning that we like. Obviously, round base is coming back. I did not like Modern Warfare Zombies. I did initially, and then they didn't update it ever. So that died out real fast, and, you know, the system wasn't real rewarding for playing it for a long period of time. It was more so just right up front fun. But round base is coming back. That's great to hear. We potentially have playable characters back too, so none of this, I mean, I think operators will probably end up getting in zombies some way because they love their money, and that's another thing that could end up happening that would suck, is not getting these playable characters with the voice lines. I'm not as invested in the story as I once was, but it's still fun to see that the story mode has some sort of presence within a zombies mode. And then this prestige system, like I talked about earlier, and I hope that it's molded with multiplayer in the sense that Modern Warfare did a good job, but I think now with the additions of prestiges, I think that can be really cool. You know, from a zombies perspective, even with the little information, it seems to be a step in the right direction and, you know, a leap forward from Modern Warfare Zombies, what we got last year. My whole point of this video is you just kind of got to step back and ask yourself these same questions we did for multiplayer, and, you know, like, will it just be an updated version of Cold War? You know, will Gobblegums actually be earnable, or, you know, are they just going to be kind of pay to win along with operators in that sense where they just try and make money off you? They don't really care about the gameplay. It's a lot of speculation right now, and, you know, only time will tell. We'll figure out more information in the future. But I'm just, you know, I'm staying grounded, and I don't want to get super excited for this game like I always do, just to be let down. And I've always been a Black Ops fan. Like, I've always loved all the Black Ops games more than the Modern Warfare games because they have my favorite mode, which is zombies. Inherently, I'm going to be more excited than I normally am, but I'm trying to temper that expectation a little bit. And circling back to, you know, XDefiant, I think that this game has really done a good job currently with just keeping fresh gameplay and keeping me engaged in a first-person shooter that I can't say has happened in a long time of a lot of lackluster COD titles. So even if the COD multiplayer sucks, I'll probably end up finding myself just going back to that and playing that. So I'm not too worried about, oh, if multiplayer this year sucks, then we're screwed, or all the multiplayer fans are screwed, because I feel like everyone will eventually go back to XDefiant if it's really that bad. So, and I kind of hope that happens so that it kind of kicks COD in the face and is like, hey, this is working. Maybe you should do that. I don't know. And like I said earlier, I really think the biggest change to this whole thing is putting this game in the Game Pass. And I feel terrible for PlayStation players because they're probably, I don't know if they have to buy it for $70 still or if PlayStation's doing a deal. That is just such a game changer. It's going to get a lot more people to be on the game and playing it, especially me and my friends. Like, it's a lot easier to get them on when they already own a Game Pass and they're going to have access to it right away on day one. So that's just going to be an incredible feature that I think is really going to do dividends in the end. With all that being said, let me know in the comments, are you excited for this game? Are you overly excited for this game? Are you buying the game, or are you getting it via Game Pass? I want to know all these specifics, get this conversation started, because I'm interested to see where everyone else is at in this process. I want to have high expectations for this game, but I don't want to be, disappointed if we shoot too high in what we're being told is happening. So comment down below, give me your thoughts. Let me know everything Black Ops 6. Are you pumped? Are you pissed? What is going on? So if you like this video and you like Call of Duty, zombies, you like games like XDefiant, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because we play a lot of this stuff for videos and on stream on the YouTube channel too. So we love interacting with all the subscribers. So feel free to join the community, and we'll see you next week.